Alright, so we're out here working on this 944 V8 thing again. I had a couple questions about the transaxle, so I just wanted to explain that a little over, it's close to a year and a half ago now, when it's probably about, I don't know, 14 months, 15 months, something like that, when we took the transaxle out of the car, and I contacted the guy about rebuilding it. He had a customer that had a 944 turbo race car, and he had a spare car that was wrecked. And for his track application, the transaxle out of this 1991 S2 actually had better gear ratios than the turbo transaxle for him. Now, the turbo transaxle actually has better gear ratios for what we need here with the V8. So we just swapped even up. This transaxle actually turned out to be very low mileage, hardly any wear inside of it. And so they rebuilt it. It has reinforcement plates installed in it. It has a guard limited slip differential in it, and it's ready to go. It also has the naturally aspirated, 2.5 liter 944 tall fifth gear in it. So if you don't know, the ring and pinion in a turbo is taller than the naturally aspirated one, so this should bring our RPMs down quite a bit, because you don't really need four-cylinder gearing in a car that's got a 6-liter V8 in it. Which, since this is going to be a street car, you kind of want to, run on the lower side of the revs most of the time when you're driving it. Otherwise, it becomes a bit labor-intensive to drive if you're just puttering around. So that's the transaxle, and yes, we did, when we did the engine conversion, we got the only 944 shift linkage from Kyle up in the New England, and also the shifter mechanism is only 944 too. So yeah, I mean, that really reduced the throw a lot and really tightened up the shifter. I mean, it's a really good package. It's not much money either. I don't remember how much it cost, but I don't think it was more than like $100 for both this piece and the part that goes in the car. So okay, enough of that. So we did get our cross member all cleaned up and hosed some black paint on it, so it's all pretty now. And we have 60 Durometer polymer. Oh, sorry. Let me point it at it. So this stuff, you mix it with this hardener, and we're going to do it in this old coffee container that I cut the top off of. And you mix it up, and basically what we're going to do, we're going to cheat a little bit. And I've seen at least one other guy do this on Ren's List. He has some pictures of it, and I thought it was a really good idea. Is rather than taking the mount out and encasing it in tape or whatever, and then, pouring the urethane in, waiting for it to set up and everything, and then bolting it back in, what he did was cleaned everything up, bolted it back together like this, and he just made a dam on either side of the mount and poured the polymer right inside. So you end up with a nice big block of polymer with two things to bolt the mount on. So that's what we're going to do. So let me get to making up the dam, and then we'll probably just do a fast forward video of mixing the polymer and dumping it in there. Okay, so here's our quick and dirty dam job. I just cut some plastic out of a old coffee container and used a bunch of painter's tape and taped it all up in here. You just don't want the liquid to be coming out, you know, like draining. This stuff takes like, it says like 15 minutes to harden, but it takes like a really long time to cure though. So, well, we'll mix it up and dump it in and see what happens. One other quick thing before we start mixing and pouring. I took the precaution of putting some tape on over the bolts on the bottom just in case it seeps down in there somehow. And the other thing you got to be sure of is that your whole setup, that's why I have it like on this table here, it's got to be level, because the urethane is going to want to, you know, you don't want it to be all cockeyed and everything. So make sure it's level. Well, there it is. It's all poured in. I ended up just using the whole container. But that covers is filled in on all the rubber part in there, so that should be pretty strong. Now we just got to wait many hours for it to cure. So what I read on the website is that this takes 136 hours. That's like 5 days and 16 hours, I think, to fully cure. So it's Thursday now, Thursday evening, and the plan this weekend was to get the trans mount taken care of and then put the transaxle in. But yeah, see, tomorrow's Friday, so if we put it in on Saturday, that would only be, if we put it in on Saturday night, that would only be 48 hours. So I don't know if we're actually going to get to it this weekend. We'll see. Hopefully we can do it, but I don't know. It all depends. I'll do a little more research and find out if you can mount anything to it in a shorter period of time, because, you know, 5 days and 16 hours is a long time. We're real close to getting this thing to drive, so I really want to get it on the road.